My husband asked me to give up all my birthday presents for his Vegas trip, then demanded we bring our baby so his friends could meet her, but now I'm the one giving up everything while he can't even handle a diaper change without his mommy's help. Posted by you/helpmeowtplease. My husband, 20M, and I, 18F, got married when I was 17, partly because I was pregnant and partly because we were madly in love. Our daughter Candace, 1, is the best, cutest, funniest toddler I've ever seen. I may be biased. He dropped out of college to get a full-time job as a line cook, and he's really good at it. I am currently going to college fully covered thanks to my scholarships. He's done irrational things in the past, such as buying a $1,700 new computer and then complaining about having no money. He's disrespected me in the past, by ignoring my opinions and swearing at me. But I've never been angrier than I am right now. Reddit, my husband asked me a couple months ago to give up all of my future birthday presents and instead ask for plane tickets to Evo. I was a little miffed, but I understood why he wanted to go as his friend lives in Vegas and was going too. So I said sure. Yesterday, we were talking about the plans and he said that we were bringing Candace with us. I told him that I didn't think it was a good idea, as I've flown with her several times to visit my parents in New England and I know how rough it is. I also told him that it wouldn't be as enjoyable for me if she came, as I am her primary caretaker, and I didn't want to spend our vacation doing what I normally do except in Vegas. He got really mad at me, saying that he just wanted his friend and friend's family to meet her. Later, when we were having dinner at my mother-in-law's, who I love very much, she asked if Candace was staying with her during our trip. He said no, we're bringing her to meet our friends. I told him that I really didn't want to do that, and my mother-in-law said something like, "Won't you have more fun with just the two of you?" At which he got upset and said that they really wanted to meet her and that we should shut up. He also had put off changing Candace's diaper before we came to dinner and made his mother do it. She did not want Candace to suffer just because he didn't want to do it. Those two things combined made me incredibly angry, but I don't know what to do about it. He's done the diaper thing before, but this time it just seemed so incredibly self-centered. Mini update. Just brought him dinner in the hopes that he'd be in a good mood when it finished so we could talk, and he got mad at me for not having cut the chicken on his salad into small enough pieces. I stood my ground, in a way, by saying I don't want to pick out all of the chicken and cut it smaller. "If I get you a knife, would that be okay?" And he said, "What the heck, I'm busy right now and you can't do this for me? I don't want it anymore, just throw it away." This isn't uncommon, but he just seems so mad, and I haven't even tried to talk about it yet. Do you think he feels bad about yesterday or is he just cranky from work? Mini update 2. He apologized for yelling at me and we sat down and talked. I used some of the lines from the comments, and he said that Candace doesn't have to come with us but it would make him a little sad. I then sat down and started looking at images on my tablet and he sat next to me, but he got angry again when I scrolled too fast and he couldn't read something over my shoulder. I responded that I was reading it, not him, and he yelled that we were supposed to be spending time together. This is why I usually get steamrolled by him during arguments, because he starts getting mad and swearing at the weirdest thing and I just want him to stop getting upset. But hey, he said that it's okay if Candace stays home, and that's what I came here for. Mini update 3. Wow, this blew up overnight. Okay, let me clarify a couple things I saw mentioned in the comments. Yes, he is like this sometimes, but the rest of the time he is a good husband and father. He does change some diapers, but has a tendency to push it on someone else if he can, which I don't usually get mad about. It's that he made her sit in the car like that after promising to change her, as I had dealt with a particularly nasty blowout that morning. He always apologizes if he yells. I just don't like the yelling and swearing in the first place, which I've told him. As to the chicken cutting, he's told me in the past to do that, I just forgot to cut it smaller this time and I think he got mad because he's told me it before. We have been to a marriage counselor, but he said that it didn't really do anything for him and that it wasn't worth the time or money. I'm talking to my older sister right now, and I've shown her this thread. I might show my mother-in-law, she and I are very close. Mini update 4. I talked to my sister and a close friend of mine. Both said that they have seen similar things happen while at my house but they didn't think it was appropriate to speak up about it. They also advised me to show this to my mother-in-law, which I will do tonight. My friend has also said that if I need a place to stay, I can stay with her as she has a spare bedroom. I'm talking to both and then my mother-in-law to decide what to say to him about all of this, and it's going to end with essentially we will need to work through this together or in individual counseling, or I'm going to go live with my friend until you've decided. Thanks for the support, everyone. I didn't realize that this kind of behavior wasn't normal, or at least I thought it was balanced out by the good times. I'll update on Friday after I've talked to him. Husband tells me to ask family for tickets instead of presents, wants to bring daughter just to introduce her to friends while I think I'll spend the whole vacation taking care of her as usual. Also puts off changing baby until he can get his mom to do it instead. How do I get him to change her diapers and his mind? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Reddit, My husband asked me a couple months ago to give up all of my future birthday presents and instead ask for plane tickets to Evo. I was a little miffed, but I understood why he wanted to go as his friend lives in Vegas and was going too. So I said sure. Why did you say sure to this? Do you not understand how selfish and childish that was of him to ask? Hey babe, can we not celebrate your birthday so I can go on vacation with my friends? What? He's a father, he needs to stop buying the expensive computers, needs to get his butt back in school, and IT can be for culinary if he's good at IT, and he needs to grow up. You don't tell someone to shut up after asking such a big favor. So he let your child have a dirty diaper on for a while because he wanted his mommy to do that? Are you kidding me? You need to have a talk with him and his mother because she's enabling this too, and this stuff has to stop. Ops response: he's going back to school soon, but I'm a little worried that I'll still be doing all of the housework and taking care of the baby even when we are both in school. Edit: I asked his mom not to change the diaper at the time and she said that she didn't want Candace to suffer because of his unwillingness to change it. Commenter 2: your husband is very young and has a lot of growing up to do. He's asked an enormous favor of you, one which I would never have agreed to. But having said that, if the trip goes ahead, I would strongly advise against taking your baby, especially since she has loving grandparents to take care of her. Candace won't enjoy herself, will very likely be miserable because she won't be in her usual routine, and she doesn't care at all about meeting your husband's friends. Worse will be that you, who've given up your future birthday presents, won't get to enjoy the grown-up things that Las Vegas has to offer. Please, if the trip goes ahead, insist that in this instance your husband gives in and agrees to leave your baby behind. He shouldn't get his own way 100% of the time, you're in a partnership. Ops response: I completely agree with everything you said about Candace, she would be much happier at home with the people she knows. I've been trying to tell him that I don't want to bring her for that and other reasons, i.e., I don't want to do the norm but in Vegas. He just doesn't seem to understand why I feel that way. Commenter 3: no. If he wants plane tickets, he can work extra hours instead of having you give up all of your future presents. And by the way, you are also a parent of the child, so you get a say in where she goes and what she does. Especially since you're taking care of the child more than him. If he wants his friends to meet your baby, they can come to you. Commenter 4: everything about this. You're the wife and mother, not housemaid and baby factory. You are 50% of the relationship, you get 50% say, he gets 50% say. Stop letting him make the decisions. Ops response: I feel like a live-in maid sometimes, he just doesn't seem to listen to anything I say. He used to split the chores with me, but that stopped a long time ago. Every time I try to give input on big decisions, he's steamrolled over me to the point where I don't think it's worth it to argue. The only time I've changed his mind is when he told me not to visit my parents for a visit that was scheduled 2 months in advance, because he said he would be lonely. And I think he only let me go because my parents bought no refund tickets. I'm not going to be a baby factory, though. I had an IUD put in as soon as possible after giving birth. Update 1, 9.5 months later. I-19F, with my soon-to-be ex-husband, 21M, giving up my birthday presents for vacation follow-up. Well, it's been a while, but I feel like I should give you guys an update because of how drastically you've changed my life. I'm getting a divorce. I'll give a quick summary of the past few months. We started marriage counseling, and I began to realize exactly how selfish of a person he is. The therapist asked, "What is the biggest problem you're having with your partner?" To each of us. His response? "Well, I really don't like it when she fact-checks me. It makes me angry because it seems like she doesn't trust me." My response was, "I do not feel respected. He does not see us as equals and I can't continue being his emotional punching bag," which was a line from one of the comments. Thanks guys. She told him after a month or so of sessions that he needed to seek individual therapy for his emotional instability, because he kept lying and contradicting himself to the therapist. What's the point of going if you pretend everything's fine and dandy? About October I told him that I couldn't continue the relationship. He was getting more and more aggressive and even punched a hole through our wall. He started throwing things and his fuse was incredibly short. So I told him I was done. It wasn't healthy for me, it wasn't healthy for our daughter. Skipping ahead a bit to my current situation, I have moved up with my parents. Divorce papers were filed about a month ago now, and luckily he agreed to all of the things we discussed. I'm very glad there was no conflict on that front, but his mom is a divorce lawyer so she wouldn't have let him mess around. Candace is very happy because she gets to play with her grandpa anytime she wants. He's a stay-at-home parent. I don't really have any connections here other than my parents and brother, but that's okay. I feel so much happier just being away from him. Now I've just got to find a job. I left him, and the divorce is making its way through the courts. Candace and I are quite liking New England, and I'm staying with my parents to build savings. Wish me luck with the job hunt. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, I remember when you posted this. Congratulations on school and you'll do great with the job search. What happened with your mother-in-law? Vegas never fell through? Ops response: mother-in-law ended up watching her after all, thank goodness. Oh, and I found a surprising ally in his best friend's wife. She pulled me aside at one point while I was there, Vegas, and said, does he always act like this? We had a few long talks about relationship problems and she helped give me a big boost in confidence. Commenter 2, oh thank God. I remember you. I'm so glad you stood up for yourself. He's absolutely deplorable. Ops response: I really hope that he finds his own way eventually. I think he had a lot of issues that he never bothered to confront. Thank you for the support. Commenter 3, I remember your post, so glad you are out of that situation. Good luck with everything up, and may you never cut up chicken for an adult male again. Ops response: thanks for the laugh, the only person I'll be cutting chicken for from now on is Candace. Commenter 4, I'm glad that you got yourself and your daughter out of that situation. Given that he was throwing things around and punching walls, it's very likely that he would have later become physically abusive, so it's great that you put a stop to things before they escalated further. Good luck on the job hunt. I hope things work out for you. Ops response: once he punched the hole, I lost so much more respect for him. As an adult man, to do that just to intimidate your wife? Absolutely unacceptable. Thank you for the well wishes. Commenter 5, I just wanted to say how much I admire your will and tenacity. It takes some people years of abuse before they can't take anymore, and you're so clear about where things could lead and so well informed that you won't let it get there. Your daughter is lucky to have you as a parent. Ops response: thank you for that. I think it really helps that my own parents have a wonderful relationship dynamic. Whereas my ex-husband grew up with a dad who cheated on his mom, and generally treated her poorly. His mom just pushed it under the rug until her kids graduated high school. I saw both sides, and I decided not to replicate his parents' relationship. Ops response on the custody plan for her daughter: I am the primary custodian. He gets her in the summer and we split the holidays. Monetarily, we had nothing to split. To be honest, the I'm taking the kids approach can actually be good for children in the long run if the other parent is abusive. So that's an interesting generalization you're dropping. Update 2, 8.5 months later. I'm back with a tangentially related problem from last time. I moved away from my ex 1 year ago today, and he still hasn't finalized the parenting plan proceedings, so I haven't received a cent from him of child support. I'm going down in December to finish it, so that's not the main issue. The main issue is that I'm very, very tired. I work a full-time job up where I live now, live with my parents, and watch my daughter every day when she's awake and I'm not working. Childcare would cost 2/3 of my paycheck, which I can't afford without child support. I love my daughter so much, but I never planned on having kids. I had her because I was scared and a pushover, and I don't necessarily regret that. But I'm so tired. I feel awful even thinking about this, but I'm seriously considering switching roles with her dad and having him become her primary caretaker. I have no issue with paying child support, and I know his mom, a literal angel, will be there to help watch her and make sure she grows up well. I'm so conflicted, because I know that I'm most likely a better parent than her dad. And it sounds horrible to knowingly put her in a position like that. Help. Very stressed and overwhelmed being a single parent with no child support. Considering switching roles with her less reliable father, feeling awful about it. Relevant comments. Op on the possibilities of open adoption. Open adoption would not be an option, as her father still has parental rights and would absolutely not give them up. I honestly hadn't considered the career aspect. Doing this really would give me the chance to complete my degree. I already have 2 years under my belt. I appreciate the thought that went into your comment, thank you. Op on why she isn't splitting custody with her ex-husband. We are. But I moved from the south to the northeast to be with my parents. And he still lives in the south. So he takes her for 3 weeks or so every couple months. Commenter 1, I wonder if you might consider seeing a therapist. This sounds a little like PPD or a more general form of depression. I also will say, it is okay to not love parenting. It is hard. It's also okay to not be coping and consider your options. Just because you are a mother doesn't mean you have to give up other parts of yourself. Ops response, I have been diagnosed with PPD and am currently taking medication for it. Commenter 2, can you enlist help from his mom in finding other childcare solutions? If you two are on good terms, she cares for her grandchild, and her son isn't paying child support, could she kick in some so that you could at least have an occasional babysitter? Could she help you research lower-cost options in your area? Ops response, she's not very well off financially, so that isn't really an option. I've been looking at other local options and so has my family. He and his family are not nearby, as mentioned in another comment. His father's family is well off, but they wouldn't send me any financial help, though they would provide for my daughter if her father was the primary caregiver. Commenter 3, My advice would be to hold out until the child support comes through in December and make your decisions then. If the pressure doesn't let up, then start considering your options. But you're very tired and stressed at the moment, so I think if you can just get a little help financially so you can get childcare and some regular breaks from your daughter, you might start feeling better. Are your parents willing to watch her also? Maybe a day and a sleepover with them on the weekend? Op's response: they do watch her while I'm at work, and she's a very energetic child, so she wears them out to the point where they're already run down when I get back from work. I can't really ask any more of them.